I believe I'm about to listen to some Argentinian metal for the first time, so that's got me excited. So a colleague's friend recommended that I check this one out. It's called, apologies, Sucio y Desprolijo, Divididos. My Spanish is not so good. So yeah, I don't know anything about this, other than this person seems to be called PAPPO. I say person because the thumbnail looks like there's a dude with a guitar on a motorbike. Because why not? All right, let's see what this is like. And go. Ooh. Interesting groove to that. It's got a kind of classic metal vibe. It's 12/4. The recording's not amazing. It's very unproduced. Raw. It's got a nice swing to it. The bass is doing some work. It sounds like it was recorded in a live music bar. If I saw this live, I'd be fucking way into it. The kind of guitar lick that would make your fingers very tired at the end of the song. And the bass is also quite busy. This might be a wrong comparison, but the vocals reminds me of Dio a bit. The bass guitar is really doing some work. Guitar solo. It's very, very nice. It's got a really old school sound to it. Probably the mix. It sounds like a one-take live recording of a full band. That's a nice drum fill. I'm surprised at how busy the bass is when there's a guitar solo at the same time. Also, everything else is swung in the drums, but the bass is doing straight. It wasn't really straight, it was sort of doing it. That's hard to describe. The lead guitar is matching the melody of the vocals. It's got a cool vibe to it. It's fucking proper rock and roll. that was really fun, I would say. So my initial thinking on that was like, man, this recording is not at the level that I would like it to be to really like get the full experience of a recorded studio album kind of sound. So it sounded like a live recording, like which you can do, right? You can get, I mean, maybe they didn't do this, but you can get everyone in a studio at the same time. You put them all in little booths or dividers somehow. You have them play the song together in unison. It gives that kind of live feel, and then you fine tune it in a kind of studio afterwards. So maybe that's how they did that, because it kind of gives the sound like they're in the corner of a bar, like just rocking and playing. It's got that sort of live sound to it. It's very raw on the inputs. There wasn't a ton of intimacy with kind of where the guitars ended up in the recordings or the bass. It felt like we were kind of distant from the band a little bit, because that's how the recording went and the mixing and the rest. Which is like not really what I was expecting. And I'm not even sure that that's what they're going for. Maybe this is what they did out of the studio. They might have done that individually. The drummer records the whole thing, then the bass, then the guitar. Maybe they agonize over each bit. But for however they did that kind of overall sound of the band, I personally like more of the modern aesthetic of like it's really precise recordings. The leveling of it sounds like it's right very close to your ears. And very kind of highly produced and whatever. That's my own thing. So that aside, I enjoyed that. It had a really cool fucking vibe to it. It had this sort of swing. It was like 12/4 time signature, to my understanding. So it's got a swung element to it. Busy guitar lick, like throughout. It'd be fucking exhausting to do that live. It was cool. I like that. The bass was really busy, a lot busier than I thought it expected for that kind of music, but it was walking all over the place and sometimes doing sort of counter rhythms to what the rest of it's doing. So really interesting choices there. The vocalist was that sort of like old school kind of, Dio rock, like, yeah, which is badass. Like, it's a cool vibe. Not usually the kind of style that I prefer to listen to, but it's cool. I can imagine, if I saw this band in a bar somewhere and they were the fucking house band, I'd be way into it. Like, this is great vibe. And they played their instruments well, and it was it's just a fucking cool piece of music. I liked it. I don't know that I'd be like, fucking today I really want to listen to PAPPO. It doesn't really sit in with my own personal preferences, but I can't really knock what they did with that. It was a nice old school rock and roll song that they played well. The kind of mixing, recording of that song wasn't the style that I prefer, but it was cool. I enjoyed it. I don't know what he was singing about because I don't speak Spanish, but it sounded cool. Ridiculous thing to say. For all I know, he's talking about like killing babies, and I'm just like, it's a kind of cool song, guys. So it's always tricky when I don't know the language, but I appreciated it. It was interesting. If there's an Argentinian artist within this ilk, or if there's a song by this person that is more of the kind of modern day studio production level, I'd love to check it out. So do let me know in the comments if I've missed something there. Or if this is just how they like to have their sound be. It's fair enough. Like, there's plenty of very successful bands that sound like this from decades ago, when that kind of sound was the best we could possibly do. So I don't know whether this is like a re-release recently and this is an older artist that we're seeing now, and that's why it has that sound, or whether they've chosen to have this sort of sound of that production. I don't know. But that was interesting. I always like to hear something I've never heard before, and that certainly had moments of that. So thank you for that recommendation. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more reactions from me in future, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll see you in another video.